Alexander the Great, also known as Alexander the Macedonian, was one of the most outstanding conquerors and military leaders in world history. He was born in 356 BC in the city of Pella, the capital of the ancient kingdom of Macedon. Alexander was the son of King Philip II and his wife Olympias, daughter of King Neoptolemus of Epirus. From a very early age, Alexander was surrounded by the greatest minds of his time. One of his tutors was the great philosopher Aristotle, who instilled in him a love for knowledge, science, and philosophy. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander became acquainted with the works of Homer, scientific treatises, and philosophical teachings, which later had a significant impact on his drive for conquests and the spread of Greek culture. Alexander became king of Macedon at the age of 20 after the assassination of his father, Philip II, in 336 BC. Shortly before his death, Philip II had united most of the Greek city-states under Macedonian rule through the creation of the Corinthian League. However, Philip's death sparked a wave of revolts and uprisings among the Greek polis, which sought to take advantage of the situation and break free from Macedonian control. Alexander immediately took control of the situation, quelling uprisings in Thebes and Athens, which solidified his authority and allowed him to continue the expansion started by his father. In 334 BC, Alexander began his famous Eastern campaign against the Persian Empire, which at that time was one of the most powerful states in the world. The first major battle on Alexander's path to conquest was the Battle of the Granicus, where he defeated the Persian satraps and opened the way into Asia Minor. This victory marked the beginning of his greatest conquests. The next significant battle was the Battle of Issus in 333 BC, where Alexander faced the armies of the Persian king Darius III. Despite being outnumbered, Alexander displayed brilliant tactics and strategy, which allowed him to achieve a decisive victory. Darius was forced to flee, leaving his family and treasury on the battlefield. This victory solidified Alexander's position as the primary adversary of Persia. Alexander's conquests continued in Syria, Phoenicia, and Egypt. In Egypt, he was welcomed as a liberator from Persian rule and was proclaimed pharaoh. It was here, in 331 BC, that Alexander founded the city of Alexandria, which later became one of the largest centers of science and culture in the ancient world. Alexandria left a profound mark on history and became a symbol of cultural synthesis and scientific progress. After Egypt, Alexander moved deeper into the Persian Empire, where his greatest battle took place, the Battle of Gaugamela in 331 BC. Despite the significant numerical superiority of the Persians, Alexander achieved a decisive victory, leading to the final collapse of the Persian Empire. Darius III was once again forced to flee, but was soon killed by his own generals. Alexander declared himself King of Asia and the heir to Darius, making him the ruler of the entire Persian Empire. Alexander's conquests did not stop with Persia. His army continued to advance eastward, reaching the lands of Central Asia and India. In 326 BC, Alexander encountered the powerful Indian king Porus at the Battle of the Hydaspes River. Despite the challenges, including the use of war elephants by the Indian army, Alexander once again achieved victory, conquering new territories. However, after this battle, his soldiers, exhausted and weary from the long campaigns, refused to continue the eastward advance. Alexander was forced to halt his conquests and turn back. The return journey was also fraught with difficulties. Alexander led his army through the deserts of Gedrosia, where they faced harsh conditions, including a lack of water and food, leading to significant losses. Nevertheless, despite these challenges, Alexander returned to Babylon in 323 BC, where he began preparing for new conquests, including a campaign in Arabia. However, these plans were never realized. Alexander the Great died on June 10, 323 BC, in Babylon at the age of 32. The cause of his death remains a subject of debate among historians. There are many theories, including poisoning, malaria, typhus, or even complications from heavy drinking. His sudden death caused chaos in the empire, as Alexander left no heir capable of ruling such a vast state. After his death, the empire began to disintegrate. Alexander's generals, known as the Diadochi, began a struggle for power, leading to the division of the empire into several major Hellenistic states, such as the Ptolemaic Kingdom in Egypt, the Seleucid Empire, and the Antigonid dynasty in Macedon. These states continued to preserve Greek culture and influence, which was one of the main reasons for the lasting legacy of Alexander. Despite his brief life, Alexander the Great left an indelible mark on history.